Good evening, Commonwealth. Thank you for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Jeannette Rocher.
I'm Bob Coldine. Here are some of the stories that we have lined up for tonight's news.
Casinos on Saipan, once again, a hot topic on Capitol Hill. Also tonight, we tell you what the Healthcare Corporation Act could mean for hospital employees. And in court, a judge denies a plea bargain. He says the penalty wasn't stiff enough.
In sports, the Jets continue to fly high above the rest in their pursuit of perfection. Stay with us. We'll have these stories and more next.
I love juicy gossip. I spend a lot of time talking to my girls, but I don't want to spend a lot on my wireless bill. That's why I got in. It's easy to keep talking to BFFs like Malou, Jen, Christina, and Francine. My girls are in with Docomo Pacific's new individual network plan. I talk as long as I want, up to 5 numbers anytime on any network. Although gossip is crazy, my yoga instructor keeps me centered. Exclusively on Docomo Pacific.
You gotta get in.
At Pacific Islands Club, we're not only about sun, water, and fun, we also cater to you. PIC is the perfect gathering place for your most memorable occasions. Whatever the reason, a business meeting, a gala banquet, a wedding, reception, a family reunion, a baby shower. From a private dining room to our lovely beach, imaginative PIC menus cater to special tastes, dietary needs, and cultural cuisines for every budget. Your meeting or celebration will be customized by our team of chefs and professionals to attend to every detail of your dream. PIC for that unforgettable occasion.
Hafa Tirawami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Thursday, April 7th, 2011. The governor has asked the members of the Senate to reconsider bringing casinos to Saipan if the bill is reintroduced in the House. Senate President Paul Manglonia says due to the tough economy and the struggle to reduce expenditures, Governor Fidel has made an appeal to the Senate to keep an open mind on any revenue-generating bill, including the casino bill that was killed by the Senate several months ago.
Everything is on the table when you talk about budget. And so the governor respectfully asked the members to consider that. But let me tell you this, that the sentiment of the Senate right now, and it has not changed over the years, is that the people of Saipan pretty much have voted no several times on the issue of casino. And we respect that very much, and that's why it's difficult for us to even consider casino.
Shortly after the Senate voted no to former Speaker Froilan Tenorio's bill, he suggested placing the casino bill before the public to get feedback, an initiative Manglonia says he supports 100%.
So I encourage the leaders and those pro-casino group to go out to the people and gather signatures and have the people vote on a popular initiative.
In the meantime, Manglonia says the Senate will keep an open mind and wait for the public to decide.
Yes, we are having tough times, and yes, public services are being sacrificed, and we need to look at everything. So basically, that's what the Senate is saying. We're looking at everything. Everything's on the table. But if you ask me now, the sentiment of the Senate remains the same, that we respect the will of the people.
The Commonwealth Health Center is expected to be fully staffed by the summer, according to the Department of Public Health.
I think we'll get to the point that we're going to be fully staffed medically pretty soon and for a sustainable period of time.
Public Health Secretary Kevin Villagomez says several new physicians have arrived on island to work out of CHC, including a much-needed surgeon.
For the longest time, 4 years, we've only had one surgeon, and pretty much he's on call 24/7. So we've really been having him burn the candle. So it's a great relief to know that we've hired another surgeon and he signed on for a 2 years contract.
He says a new anesthesiologist is also on board, bringing the total at the hospital to 3.
And we are also trying to get more mid-level providers to help out on the outpatient clinic to be able to service our outpatient clients too. So that's coming together.
And 3 additional physician's assistants are now working out of the emergency room.
I would say by about mid-May to early June, we should be fully staffed. Again, focusing right now in hiring more internal medicine physician and pediatrics, because that is the bigger demand of this community. We have a lot of very young and we have a lot of very sickly elderly folks that require more intensive care. So focusing on getting those groups of doctors in.
And Villagomez says the hospital is working through resolving issues with the U.S. State Department on the J-1 visa waiver program, which would allow CHC to hire non-U.S. citizens who were trained and licensed in the U.S.
And part of their getting their immigration status within the U.S. requires them that they return home for a period of 2 years or serve in an underserved area within the U.S. And since we're one of those underserved areas, we're now working closely with a legal team to get 2 doctors on board to via that route. So that will complement our immediate need in getting a full staff.
And the salaries of those new hires will not be affected by the hospital becoming autonomous, according to the Fidel administration. Press Secretary Angel Demapon says hospital salaries will no longer be funded by the local government, but it shouldn't change anything because with CHC operating like a business, the health center will keep their revenue and fund the salaries themselves. He says this should give them incentive to go after individuals with unpaid hospital bills. According to Lieutenant Governor Eloy Enos, CHC submitted a budget of over $30 million for fiscal year 2012, but will now only be allotted $5 million to assist them with startup. The plan is to have the hospital autonomous by October 1st.
This Healthcare Corporation Act to go into effect this quickly for next fiscal year?
Well, the statute essentially dictates that with the exception of the 6-month extension, should have taken effect since January of this year. But the administration submitted a request to extend for another 6 months, which expires in June. Although the budget that we propose would will roll out the new healthcare corporation in October, we're looking at July to September as a transition period where we can start putting together all the management structure.
It turns out a defendant who recently had his day in court for breaking the window of his girlfriend's apartment and was released from jail on his own recognizance is facing new accusations and much more serious charges. 42-year-old Nena Langu was issued another arrest warrant this week after police found out from an 18-year-old victim he'd been sexually abusing her since she was in the 3rd grade. According to court documents, police were called to the girl's school after she told a school counselor what had been going on. Further investigation revealed that throughout the course of the girl's life, she'd been repeatedly abused by Langu up until the incident was reported on March 30th. Police arrested Langu on Tuesday. He's being charged with sexual abuse of a minor in the 1st degree. Bail has been set at $50,000 cash, and he is ordered to stay away from the victim, her school, her family, and their residence. Langu has been involved in other criminal cases dating back to 1999, mostly to do with assault and battery, and has been a respondent to restraining orders on 2 occasions. He will appear back in court on April 13th for a preliminary hearing and on the 18th for his arraignment. A local man who was arrested for child abuse in December entered a guilty plea in Superior Court this morning, but the judge rejected the plea agreement, meaning the jury trial for 40-year-old John Mendiola Camacho will still go forward as planned. The trial is scheduled for May 2nd. Camacho was arrested on an alcohol-related domestic incident and faces charges of child abuse and assault and battery after an anonymous person heard a commotion and called the cops while Camacho was getting physically violent with his girlfriend and her 2 young children. Camacho has 2 other cases of assault and battery and criminal mischief pending against him, which are slated for a bench trial following his jury trial. If Judge Wiseman had accepted the plea agreement, all 3 cases would have consolidated and Camacho would have had only to serve 3 days in jail. And this, the judge said, would have sent the wrong message. Crime Stoppers is seeking the community's assistance on a robbery and assault incident that occurred Tuesday around lunchtime. Officer Jason Tarkong explains that the victim, a Chinese man, was delivering tofu to LF Market in Chalankanoa.
Well, basically what happened is he was approached by 3 young men. The older suspect number 1, approached him asking for his wallet. He refused, assaulted the suspect by punching him, the victim by punching him. The victim then went into the LF Market, picked up his cell phone, and was attempting to call the police when the suspect grabbed the cell phone, smashed it, and assaulted him by stabbing him with a knife, causing two deep lacerations on the left forearm of the victim, which required 31 stitches.
The suspect, along with the 2 younger males who police believe may be juveniles, escaped north on Beach Road. If you have any information about this crime that could lead to an arrest, please call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272. Coming up, the Lieutenant Governor comments on the new budget proposal, and the community continues to show its concern for those suffering in Japan. Those stories and more are in the second half of the news. Stay with us.
If you'd like to give us a news tip, text in to 285-7760.
Got a new Android or BlackBerry smartphone? If you're not with the fastest and most reliable network in the Marianas, then all you've got is an overpriced paperweight. Only IT&E unlocks your smartphone's potential because only IT&E's network has the speed and power of EVDO. Download thousands of free apps and customize your smartphone with ease. IT&E is bigger, faster, and stronger than the other guys. Trust the network that works. Trust IT&E. Life in motion.
Now at the info desk inside Star Sands Plaza, get your photos printed while you wait and make it a memory. It's the perfect gift. Put it inside your very own photo frame and give it to a loved one. Best of all, it's done professionally while you wait. Just bring your camera memory card in any format and we'll take care of the rest. Open daily afternoons and evenings. Picture it at the I Love Saipan photo desk inside the Star Sands Plaza.
There's a place out there that's different. A place whose people understand that the word welcome is more than a greeting. That the things you can't count for everything. That life is in the details. So when you come to this place and find that the details of your life are treated as all that matters, you'll understand the difference between a hotel and a Hyatt. And you will say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the people there will smile and humbly reply, you're more than welcome.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for this Thursday evening edition of the Channel 2 News. The 2012 government budget is now in the hands of the legislature. Lieutenant Governor Eloy Enos explains some of the provisions. The administration's budget proposal contains language that would continue the present austerity measures now in effect.
We pointed out some of the major significant issues that we would like addressed in the actual bill.
Like what?
Austerity. I mean, the austerity provisions of the current law expires September 30. So in order for it to be implemented, it needs to be part of the statute.
As for meeting payroll
situation is a timing issue, at least, other than the fact that, we've reduced the expectation. The timing of those collections is still an issue.
A new law requiring businesses to pay monthly taxes instead of quarterly is supposed to help in that regard, but so far it hasn't had much impact. As for filling vacancies, Enos says sometimes that is necessary.
We're all clamoring for additional revenue collection, so we need revenue agents, we need auditors and so forth. So those vacancies would have to be maintained. In fact, we'll probably need more new positions.
The people and businesses of the CNMI continue to show charity and generosity to the people of Japan in the wake of their disaster. This afternoon, the staff of Mariana Islands Institute gathered for a check presentation to the NMI chapter of the Red Cross for a $5,000 donation.
We decided to do this on behalf of the Japan tsunami. We're so happy to present the check to John on behalf of Mariana Islands Institute.
And the Institute is doing even more for the Red Cross this Saturday morning at Civic Center Beach. They will be at the 25th Walkathon.
We're going to be at the Walkathon to do some free vision screening for anybody who's doing the walk. They can come down and see us, Mariana Islands Institute, to do the free vision test.
Now for the latest news from Guam, here is Nick Delgado and the KUAM News team.
Hafaday CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. The Guam Memorial Hospital isn't the only medical facility in the territory clouded with a bit of controversy. The Government Accountability Office released a report on the military's proposed improvements to their medical capabilities in Guam. The title of the GAO report gives it away: Defense Infrastructure. The Navy needs better documentation to support its proposed military treatment facilities on Guam. The report details the Navy's plans to build a new replacement hospital in Agana Heights and to construct 2 new health clinics, one at the proposed new Marine Corps base in North Finnegadson and the other at Big Navy. In a nutshell, the GAO found the Navy didn't provide adequate analysis and documents to support the staff size, cost, or configuration of their plans for their medical facilities in the territory. To read the report, log on to our website. Speaking of new medical facilities, the initial design work for Phase 1 of the construction of the new Guam Regional Medical City in Dededo began today. And according to Guam Healthcare and Hospital Development Foundation President and Chairperson Peter Scrow, the group plans to launch their formal strategic recruiting and retention plan next month. The plan includes a campaign called Bringing Our Sons and Daughters Home by reaching out to those currently practicing outside of Guam with family here to return and practice locally. As we reported, Phase 1 of the Guam Regional Medical City is planned for a total of 130 acute care beds, 20 intensive care beds, 18 bassinets, and 6 incubators. Groundbreaking is scheduled for September. The island got a boost of tourism for the day with the arrival of the Sun Princess cruise ship. More than 2,500 passengers and crew members pulled into port Wednesday morning after touring the waters off Australia, New Zealand, and Asia. The liner has been dubbed a big ship choice with a small ship feel. Passengers and crew members were greeted by Miss Earth Guam contestants and cultural dancers before taking various tours around the island. Crew members Glenn Ost and Letitia Joshua.
To be honest, some beach and some shopping maybe, yeah. The beaches.
And what's your favorite part about coming to Guam when you come here?
Duty-free shopping.
The vessel left last night en route to Papua New Guinea. It's the 5th vessel from the Pacific Princess Cruises fleet to make a port call to Guam. The Sun Princess is expected to return to the island again in October. And for more Guam news, log on to KUAM.com. Reporting for KSPN 2 News, I'm Nick Delgado.
Thank you for that report, Nick. And actually, that ship was on Saipan this week. I saw it on Tuesday. It was here for a day.
Is that the biggest ship you've seen here?
I think so. I was pretty impressed by it. I was hoping they'd let me take a tour, but I didn't have the camera with me. Otherwise, I would have done that and put it on the news.
All right.
What do you have? You have sports.
Well, you know, usually sports is something good, positive, entertaining.
Absolutely,
but
yes.
Unfortunately, tonight we have a story that's senseless, ridiculous, mindless, vandalous.
Docomo Pacific has all the phones you want. Sleek and sophisticated. Fun and functional.
Gotta make me feel that your loving is real, Docomo.
Chic and stylish.
Docomo.
Ultra modern and high tech. Find the phone that's perfect for you. Only at Docomo Pacific.
Docomo.
The CNMI Public School System and Flame Tree TV Productions present a series of half-hour shows, especially for high school students who wish to gain a greater appreciation of language arts. Join students and authors and community members as they read and discuss fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and song. Open new worlds of learning and enjoyment with great books, exploring the wonderful world of literature. Every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. only on KSPN 2, beginning January 2011.
The time is now. The deals are huge, and it only happens once a year. The big deal, now at Joe 10 Motors. Save big right now on the 2011 Ford Ranger. For work or play, this is the truck that gets it done. Starting at only $142 per paycheck. Also, introducing the 2011 Ford Taurus and the 2011 Ford Fiesta. Come see what the big deal is all about. Offer good for a limited time. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Joe 10 Motors, powered by you.
Walk. Yeah. Walk this. Yeah. Walk this way. Oh, yeah. Help yourself and help Japan at the same time. Show that you care. The 25th Annual Red Cross Walkathon is Saturday morning, April the 9th. Come one, come all. A $15 donation gets you an ultra cool t-shirt. Plus, there's refreshments, goodies, and wholesome, healthy activities for all ages. Go down to Civic Center Beach and join the crowd for the 25th Red Cross Walkathon. Walk this way. Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Get that ball.
Brandon sports fans, first let me issue a correction from last night. The Japan versus Saipan women's soccer game will be on Sunday at 4 o'clock. All those fun activities for kids and adults will start 11 a.m. Sunday, not Saturday, Sunday. Now, let's move on to Wednesday day baseball. The Jets are the only unbeaten team in the Majors division of Little League. The Comets tried to knock them off their pedestal.
Tuck in your shirts. This is a real game, boys and girls. Fireballer Nathan Camacho wheeling and dealing for the first place Jets. He was just about unhittable the first couple of innings. Nobody was able to score, as J.J. Moncaya was matching him goose egg for goose egg. Benjamin Maratita gets caught in no boys land and is tagged out. Marcellus takes one for the team. But hey, JJ gets a strikeout to end the inning. Still no score. R.L. Mendiola gets called out on a check swing strikeout. Cassius Fideo goes down swinging. Christopher Aches, same thing. Nathan strikes out the side, 1, 2, 3. Top of the third, Franklin Lizama with a chopper to Cassius. He knocks the ball down, picks it up, steps on the bag, but the tie goes to the runner. Save. Nathan helps himself with a hard grounder past Austin Hokog for a base knock. Harvey Montagolai, who won the home run derby last month, lifts a fly to center field. Eric Cruz makes the catch, but the throw to third base isn't the best in the history of the world. Franklin scoots home. Jets draw first blood. Benjamin Maratita with the grounder to third. The throw to first. Nathan scores on that error. Celis delivers an RBI single. Thomas Dela Cruz, come on home. Jets go on to score 8 runs in this contest. Bottom of the third, Austin Hokog reaches on an E4. But the Jets defense settles down the rest of the way to help the pitcher. There's a force out there. And then another strikeout ends the frame. Comets never did solve. Camacho. Jets win 8-0 to keep their perfect record perfectly perfect.
Well, it's frustrating to take one step forward, only then to take one step backward. That's how the staff at Sports and Rec must feel sometimes after working to get the Civic Center sports complex up to speed for public use. Here's an example. Someone purposely sliced the canvas on the new batting tunnel that was recently constructed. It was vandalism, pure and simple. The government cannot afford to replace the entire tarp, so it's going to be patched up the best they can. The new batting tunnel, part of the ongoing improvements at the Civic Center Sports Complex. And one of those improvements, finally, rectifying a mistake from the 1980s. That chain link fence at Tangay Field is now on the playing side of the field where it should be. When the field was first built in the early 80s, the fence was put on the other side of the post, so the balls that hit the post would bounce off like a pinball machine. Tangay Field getting a new fence all around, and the added gym also slated for improvements as well. Roof repairs started today. A new floor and bleachers are going to be installed at the gym. There it is. And good news for spectators too. The bathrooms will get a complete makeover. That's all made possible